Hello everyone and welcome to today's crypto and stocks TA charts live stream with me, No FOMO Charts. Today is July 21st, 2022. It's about 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The format today is going to be different. If people want to, go ahead and feel free. If you have a chart request, go ahead and type it in the live chat. Before we get going, any crypto chart or any stock chart that we can find here on TradingView, I will give a free analysis on the request today for educational purposes for today's stream only. And if nobody shows up today, then I'll just do my usual ticker list symbol. So until requests come in, I'm going to do my usual list. So again, take advantage of this time. Feel free to ask for chart requests, at least one per person. Here we go. So to start off, we're in earnings season right now in America. And this past week, we had Netflix earnings, Tesla earnings, quite a few earnings. And if you're in my Discord group, in the watch list, I did list off some of these on Sunday. So we had Bank of America, Charles Schwab, Goldman Sachs, IBM, Johnson Johnson, Netflix, Tesla. So just something to watch out for there. Is we did rally, and some people are wondering like, why? Why did we rally? Well, we were in a symmetrical triangle on the S&P 500, and then we broke out above the resistance on good earnings. This is because of earnings. Hello, welcome to the stream. If you have a request, go ahead and type it in the chat box. Doing free requests today. So we had a breakout here. This is the earnings, start of the earnings, the bank earnings, and it wasn't that bad. A little bit mixy on some data last week into this week, but we had a couple good days. But again, the breakout cannot last forever. We hit all our resistances, targets, so we're just going to erase those. It's not going to last forever. So where's the target? 3% to 6% to the upside, like 410, possibly. So the resistance now is like 415 or 410 on S&P 500. We did break out above this upper trend line. So something to watch out for is we could rally and then pull back to test it before we try to rally again. Okay, in the S&P 500. So just watch out for that. Just watch out for that in terms of the pullback. So support would be 391 and 385 and 388. So I'm just going to mark those as the resistance and the support. Okay, let's move on. Hello, welcome to the stream. I'm doing free requests today. If you have a crypto chart or stock chart, go ahead and type it into the live chat box. Here we go. So let's look at NASDAQ, because NASDAQ has had quite the breakout. Just like I was saying last time, we had the resistance breakout above the top, about 296. And you might be wondering, if you're a crypto trader, you're like, why does this matter? Well, if we flip really fast to Bitcoin, what did Bitcoin do in the past couple days? Bitcoin also went up. But we're having the pullback already. So Bitcoin, because Forex in crypto is 24 hours, there's no waiting overnight. Unlike stocks, where we do have a waiting period overnight. This is not the latest data. If you look at NASDAQ futures, we're already starting to get the gap down pullback. Okay, just on the pullback. But I'm going to stay on the ETF. So QQQ, just watch out again for this rally going up a little bit too high, and then we start to pull back to like a 297. So we'll just mark those areas. Where is our target? 4 to 8%. 4 to 8%. So if it goes 4%, that would be 311. If it goes 8%, which would be phenomenal, 323. We already hit our gap resistant targets. I'll just mark that for next time. Gap resistance, and then there's gap support down here. So just marking those for reference for next time. It's important. The big question with stocks and crypto right now is, are we out of the bear market? Question mark. In my opinion, no, not yet. It could be, possibly, but not yet. Because if we were really out of the bear market, it would be non-stop uptrend and non-stop recovery in tech stocks and crypto. So crypto right now, it's still technically in a downtrend. We just had the lower high. What needs to happen for the next 3 to 6 months on crypto, if this is the bottom, is yes, you could have some little fluctuations up and down, but this thing needs to reverse to the upside. And what does that mean? People need to buy. So if nobody buys, how could we rally? That's just one way to think about it, too. All right, so let's move on to Dow Jones. DIA, the Dow Jones ETF, we hit our resistance target of 320 from 1 to 2 streams ago. And let's just erase those targets now. Still downtrending to the downside, right? Down here. We did break out above this resistance. That's why it's kind of significant right now. And that's why the news is kind of excited about this right now. But at the same time is high, low, high, low. If we break out, we try to pull back. We just hit the resistance level. So if we try to break out of this, that would be good. And pull back and then retest and then break out. We're still in the middle of earnings right now for our stocks. So anything's possible. I am not going to try to predict tech earnings at all. The given information that we know is we have China COVID supply problems and then Russia-Ukraine war, which affects energy demand and supply. We also have like a lot of volatile political events that's happening all over the world right now. So, it's a pretty unsettling time right now to be a crypto trade. I mean, to be a trader or analyst right now in stocks or crypto. Hello, welcome to the stream. If you have a request, please type into a live chat box and we'll get to it. So again, there's no real rush in terms of if somebody's an investor, what am I rushing for, right? Because we're in the downtrend. Okay. So the question is this the bottom? Question mark. It may be, because somebody could have said that for any of these lows. What's going to really change things is if we try to test it one more time anywhere in this range on a weekly. Our lowest low is 296, so we cannot go lower than 296. If all of a sudden we start crashing down for whatever bad reason and we lose 296, it's not a bull market. It's a definite bear market right now. We're having a bounce. Is it a dead cat bounce? Possible. It could pull back anywhere up to 300 or 296 before we try to rally to the upside. Hello, welcome to the stream. If you have a free crypto or stock request, type in the live chat and then we'll look at it today. So as an investor, that's the metric. If it's going to downtrend, this is not middle of summer 2020 where we're in massive uptrend. Does that make sense to everybody visually? Hopefully it does, right? So the hype that we're feeling right now is because we hit this bottom and then we bounced up from it. That's what everyone's like super excited about. Hello, welcome. If you have a crypto or stock request, just go ahead and type in the chat. All right, let's do Ethereum. Let's do Ethereum and then I'll do Bitcoin because I haven't done Bitcoin yet. So let's do Ethereum. FUSD. It's not showing up. Just use Binance. Actually, I'll do FUSDT. It's almost the same. I just want to get a big chart with a lot of price history. So I'll just restart this chart. Basically almost the same. So FUSDT. All right. Can you let me know, Remark? Welcome. Are you a investor? Are you a swing trader? Or are you a day trader? And are you long or short? Because that'll help me explain it better to you to like fine tune it to what you're looking at. But in the meantime, we'll start on the daily charts. This is Ethereum. So please keep in mind that we just, in the past 1 or 2 years, we had this head and shoulders with the neckline break down. And, is 40 to 90% down. Did we go down that much? No, but we went negative 60% to the downside. And then we had the consolidation, upside down head and shoulders, or the triple bottom, or upside down Bart pattern. And that measured move was about 26%, and it went 26%. And that's why some day traders and swing traders are selling some or half of their profit right now in the past 3 days. Also, please keep in mind we're in stock earnings season, so that's why there's a little bit more movement. Also, we had the Ethereum merge news announcement, so that's why this probably stopped at 10:38. Okay, if we use Fibonacci, I like to get visual for you guys. Everyone out there, we do the bottom of pandemic to the top of pandemic, right? We're holding the 786 Fibonacci level, and then we try to target this 1800 618 Fibonacci level, this in the blue. We went from the blue to the blue. So if we're using just these really big resistance support lines, 1900 to 1100 was a huge range, right? The middle there, like somewhere there, like 1500, basically, if it's like 2000, basically 1500. So 1500 probably going to be our support level to the downside, just from a visual perspective. This 4 hour, we can also draw these lines, the trend lines. So it is, once you start getting intraday, we start seeing the up cross, right, in the 4 hour and the 1 hour. So still up cross in the 1 hour. Only thing to worry about is it going to lose momentum and then pull back down to like a 1400 or 1500 to test this downside? So it was getting a little bit overbought range a couple days ago, and that's why we pulled back to now. But the fact we bounced, I'm going to watch this resistance very, very closely, 1600. Watch this 1600 very closely. Why? Because it bounced to test it and is losing a little bit of momentum right now. We're in the Asia session right now, and then we're going to go into Europe and then America session. So I'm not counting. This is not set in stone right now. So the 15-minute, it could go a little bit oversold, test maybe this 1532 or 1547 if you're a day trader to the downside right here before it tries to bounce up one more time. If not, the swing traders will say, wait a second, isn't this some kind of lower high? And then maybe the shorts will try to attack it down, even down to 1400 in the next couple of days. But if you're an investor long term, what I was saying is we had the double bottom on Ethereum at about basically 1000. Okay, double bottom basically at 1000. We hold that support. And then we had some serious MACD histogram momentum with the low oversold RSI. And then our target was the 1800. I was saying that for about 2 weeks. So hopefully I just gave the 3 scenarios. If you're a day trader, if you're a swing trader, if you're an investor, that's probably what's going to happen with Ethereum on the charts generally. Okay, what can override that is if there's some volatile breaking news in crypto or stocks. That would just reverse everything, right? If some first world government bans crypto tomorrow, for example, then probably all cryptos would crash. Or the reverse is true. If like some European country, legalized crypto as money, basic fiat money, currency, crypto would probably pump up to the moon in like 6 months, right? So the news matters, stock matters as well. So that's it, Ethereum analysis. Hello, welcome everyone on YouTube. If you have a request for a crypto or stock chart, just let me know in the live chat. Just go ahead to anything that I can find on TradingView. I'm doing a free request day today. Okay, we'll do Bitcoin. Great, thank you, Remark. Let's sometimes the search is interesting. Okay, so we'll do BTC USDT and start on the daily. So it's kind of similar to Ethereum, except we didn't have the pure head and shoulders here on Bitcoin. We had it was more of this channel that was kind of going sideways, and then we lost it, the support. what's it? So 36,000, and then the bears said attack, and then they attacked it down. So low, high, low, high. There's kind of sad. I thought it was going to go up more, but we crashed down. Where to, on this chart, 17,565. Kind of the same thing. This setup was about the same, except we could tell that Ethereum had the news break because Bitcoin didn't really move that much, just kind of flagged to the side. But this range is 7%. If it goes 7% to the upside, it's about $24,000. And then we hit that target. It doesn't really look like much, but it's there. So you can see the pullback happening on this intraday. So the 4-hour. Just barely up crossed, golden cross. So take note of that right here. Okay, 4 hours. Trying to up cross, is trying to. The 1 hour already did, but just like Ethereum, watching to see if this could be our lower high, somewhere here in the 23,500 range, bounce up and see if it's going to pull back to the downside afterwards to like a 22,000 or such, something like that, right? That's the top of the trend line. It looks like it's trying to do that. Attempting to make a lower high if it's possible in the next like couple days. But this 15-minute, the clear uptrend is kind of lost. I'm talking about this going up. It's debatable, but the line in the sand is probably the trend line support, so 22,700, right? The X marks a spot. If we could bounce on that, that's fine, and then we could try to bounce up to 2,400 or something, and then see where the battle is going to occur up there. If we could break out or if we're going to reject down. So on the longer term time chart, that could turn into a double top and that would come down over time. So that's what we're just kind of looking at on Bitcoin. But as an investor, that was a swing trading lens. As an investor lens, it's kind of like Ethereum of what I was saying, is we do have these large MACD histogram momentum. Low RSI oversold condition bounce that we haven't seen since 2019, the end of the Bitcoin Cash civil war, which if you were in crypto 4 years ago, we all lived through that. It was painful. It was painful to just witness the price crash down to oblivion. But that was the greatest buying opportunity because the market recovered and then Bitcoin went 300%. So is it going to go 300% again? Probably not. But can we at least bounce, try to get to 30,000? It's possible. It's going to take some time though, because from top to here, it took almost 280 days, which is like 3/4 of a year. So if it's another year, that'll be like 2023. Or if I'm optimistic, maybe this end of this year, because if we get through earnings, if supply chain gets a little better for companies, and then inflation has to start coming down. You could tell the aggressive traders, we're all kind of just getting in. We played this low, right? Investors probably pick some up, but then the rest of the world is going to come in after this thing bounces more significantly. I'm talking about like just like the average everyday person who doesn't look at charts or anything or stocks or crypto at all. So that's just something to think about. If I draw the big line, which is, there's this support line. There's this one. And on a different chart, there's also, because this data cuts off on 2017, there's also this line. We need to look at a different chart though. So we do like BLX. Right here. So BLX, this is a Bitcoin chart that I learned from a fellow colleague, has like 12 years of data on it. It's absolutely incredible chart for investing. And then if I draw the weekly here, you can see it's been riding that weekly bottom trend line support for 2 years, right? So then when you hit the bounce, we're testing that. The only problem is if we're really, really looking at it with the microscope, it was under it with upside down head and shoulders, and we're still under it, the line. So, and it's still a downtrend. So I'm not getting super hyped up out of my mind about this yet, because it could actually bounce and then fail. That's one bearish scenario. So as an investor, I kind of want to see it maybe retest one more time to 20,000 just so everybody make sure, okay, it's not going to go lower, and then we can hype up, rocket to the moon on all our cryptos. But the good thing is at least we stopped dropping. But this upside down head and shoulders, it's very subtle, but it's there on a line chart. This thing is there. We could be looking at a tradable bottom, investment bottom. Hello, welcome YouTube. If you have a crypto chart request or a stock chart request, just let me know. I'm doing free requests today. Thank you for joining. All right, so we did Bitcoin and Ethereum, and we did Dow Jones and S&P 500. Let's look at some of the stocks that's moving, because it's kind of a big deal. Like Netflix, we had Netflix earnings. It looks like chicken scratch on the screen. Let's just calm down here and look at Netflix on a daily chart. So Netflix, a lot of people still watch Netflix TV shows and movies, but they had their earnings, which was mixed on these two numbers, the earnings and the revenue. But then they said they quote unquote lost only 1 million subscribers, which is less than the other two earnings reports. So, okay, people are excited about this. Also, Netflix, they're trying to, they made a deal with Microsoft for advertisement-based tier, subscription tier. So they're saying they should be seeing that money coming into the company in 2023, which gets traders and investors excited. So Netflix was in this kind of symmetrical triangle. We could measure this thing about 20%. That's a lot. Did we already go? We already hit the 20% target today. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. We hit the 20% target today. We have this ginormous, very large resistance on the top. So that's obviously going to be the target, about 250 probably, right here. Also, that coincides with our trend line. So that's probably where all the traders are looking to take some profit. Because we have to realize, unless something crazy happens with Netflix, it's not just going to go straight up to the moon rocket style. Stocks usually don't do that, like big corporate stocks or big liquidity market cap stocks. So it's probably going to pull back at some point. So where would it pull back to? Just very quickly. All right. It's already in the overbought range with a double top on the overbought. This thing's losing momentum already. So where is it? 212, 200, 195, 190. Those are all supports on the bottom. A resistance, 224. I look left a little bit here. 230 for a resistance. We already hit the target, the first target. So you can already see with this candle body wick right here in the blue circle that some big trader, hedge fund, institution, algorithm, they sold on that day trading candle 2 days ago. So that's Netflix. Let's take a look at Tesla, because we have a lot of people on Tesla, traders, and it's a very popular stock. Elon Musk, very active person. So things really get going with Teslas. We had Tesla earnings reported today, so this is not the greatest time to be showing this, but they had mixed earnings. You probably have to check out the report for yourself and not take only my word, because these are just the two numbers, just EPS and net revenue. So these were okay, but that also there's some quote that the automotive division will make less money or something like that. So that's why. But it still went like 9% today, like 9.62%. So again, the sim triangle on the 4-hour symmetrical triangle, a conservative measurement, 12 to 29%. So something like 15% average. Okay, 872 is the target. If it goes 24, 935 is the target. If it goes 12, we almost hit that target of 832. So those are the three resistances on the top side. The thing with Tesla, is we had the 4-hour breakout. Okay, so if I kind of let me hide these two for a second. This is kind of what we want to see just visually, because imagine if this is like the crash, right? We're going down. It's going down. And then everyone was wondering during May and June, like, oh, well, how far are we going to go down? question mark. The market did tell us and show us. It said, the price said, I'm going to go down to $618. I'm going to go down to $620. And then the price literally stopped dropping below there. That is the critical key. It's called support, price support. And then it's what happened. It started going sideways. So being very sensitive to the charts and not just looking at this on the side, like on my phone or something, is looking at, wait a second, we went down. What's happening with Tesla? It's going sideways, but not just sideways. It's symmetrical triangle. That's an actual chart pattern, measurable. And then we started actually technically uptrending, high, low, high. It's right. So it basically started going up, and then we had the huge pop on the earnings. So certain setups, certain charts actually work. It's a matter of kind of have to hunt for it, kind of have to find it. On the daily is obvious. On the 4 hour, it's obvious. On the 1 hour, it's obvious if we understand how to interpret it. So this is kind of like a classical technical analysis, but it's absolutely critical. So somebody just doesn't get kind of confused in the market. Thank you so much for the follow. Really appreciate it, Jay. Thank you. So again, if you have a stock chart crypto request, just go ahead and type it onto the live chat and then we'll look at it together. I'm just kind of waiting for the next request to show up, or else I just go down my usual list. So if you want a free request, now's your chance. Just go ahead and type anything we can find on TradingView and I'll do some TA analysis on it for free today. So what else do we have? Okay, related to this, we have Twitter. All right, Twitter, our volatile darling. So if you didn't know, Twitter's reporting earnings tomorrow in the morning, and there's a lawsuit against Elon Musk. So for me, I'm not a huge fan of companies with lawsuits against them because it's just like an ongoing problem. And then anytime the news breaks of anything, the stock will move. So as you know, if you're an investor, we don't like lawsuits. We don't like that. Right? We want good. We want to see positive momentum and such, not negative forever numbers, right? So same thing here with Twitter is, right? It's downtrending. We had the pop of Elon Musk is going to buy. Then he said, wait, maybe I'm not going to buy, and then it crashed, and then went sideways, and then the lawsuit, and then the bounce from that lawsuit. So this is just news. Was it forecastable? Yes, because there's certain resistance levels and support levels and intermediate middle support levels. Actually still chartable, even with all the volatility. But what's happening now? They're reporting their earnings tomorrow. So I'm not going to predict the earnings, but we can try to forecast the targets. So let me bring up my terminal 1 second. Twitter. Okay. So the daily, Twitter likes to move about like 4%, plus or minus 4%. So it's probably it's 4 to 8% is the target, just based upon this, because this is just chop, right? Somebody could interpret this as, oh, double bottom. But then at the same time, it's like, wait, lawsuit. So let's not get too excited about that. So 8% would take us to the gap resistance to 42.75 on the upside, and then 8% downside would be $37. So I would just really think about those two targets, because Twitter is most definitely probably going to move. I'll just leave it there at those two targets, right? I'm gonna wait after that. All right, we have some airline earnings that's about to happen. Like, what are we talking about? United, oh, actually, excuse me. United already reported. This already happened today. So that's going to get priced into the market. Twitter's on Friday. We also have Verizon. And then we have the Jets ETF. Okay, but I'm not going to stay on stocks for too long. I'll try to flip around because I know a lot of people are here for crypto. So let's go to Binance Coin. Binance Coin, BNB USDT. Before I erase this, we do want to point out that the coin was in a downtrend and then we hit the bounce. It actually got stuck here under the support level trend line and then it bounced inside. Hello, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much, Remark, for the follow. I appreciate it. So something to just watch out for. Now we have this resistance trend line on the top. That's kind of our big quote unquote ceiling is slanted to the downside, right? We had this trend line, which I just drew, but it's inside the middle now. Just want to watch out for it because if we're too late on the setup, like if somebody's like, I'm going to long right now and buy the screen, it might actually come down because just from experience, I know inside of the pattern is another pattern and it's at the top of the pattern. Does that make sense? Inside, this is like getting like advanced level of multi-time frame analysis, which I do 3 forms. It's still in an investment downtrend in the blue, but if we zoom in, there's a little baby, I call it mini uptrend, just like Tesla, but it's at the top side of the resistance. And it's getting stuck right at 265. Right at 265. So again, for me, when I stare at this, I'm saying, okay, 275 up here is the resistance. If I'm a long, I actually want to try to get it down here. 235, 237, and I'm not just pointing out random numbers. I'm looking right here to the left, 234, 219. It might not come down to 200 or below because if it never goes down, this is a great sign for a crypto, right? Our big line in the sand, the lowest it's ever been on a close on this chart was 188, basically. 188, so or 200. So those are, in my mind, I know Binance Coin should not go down below that if we could try to do a bull rally up. This thing starts crashing down for whatever reason, then we know this is just a bounce. This whole thing is just a bounce. It's a fake bounce and it could keep crashing down. Because I lived through multiple bull markets and bear markets in the crypto market and now the stock market as well. So it is possible we could keep dropping because on a day chart, is it lower on our side or is it high? It's kind of towards the high side, getting towards the overbought side here. It was low at this exact 188 spot, right? So if somebody's very, very disciplined with their charts, we're looking for low. We're trying to buy low and sell high, the general quote of trading or investing. Buy low, sell high. So if somebody just says like, yes, I'm going to buy, it's green, I'm going to buy crypto right now. It's like, well, is it low? Depending on what strategy I'm using, right? Or what indicators and tools, but it depends on the perspective, what we're doing here. All right. I'm not going to go too much into the day trading side of this because it gets kind of fuzzy and choppy on the charts, but we'll just leave it there on Binance Coin. Let me go to let's look at Ethereum Classic. You know, nobody really asked for that Ethereum Classic, but Ethereum Classic had an insane, very, very nice move to the upside. So Ethereum Classic, this is, if you don't know, Ethereum Classic kind of likes to bounce around when Ethereum bounces around. So that's just something to kind of know. Oh, okay. Hello, Akrem from Twitch. Thank you for the follow. We'll do BTC again. I didn't see your request. So the thing with Ethereum Classic is it forked off of Ethereum. And so whenever Ethereum goes crazy up or down, especially up to the long side. Ethereum does something like that. It used to, Bitcoin Cash used to do that with Bitcoin. If you were in trading like 4 years ago, you would probably remember that. But Ethereum Classic, here we go. Still in a downtrend, just kind of like a Doge coin on the day chart. But where's our resistance? There used to be one here. So we already broke out that one. So we could leave that one there, the resistance trend line on the top. Now there's a second one. This is the second target, $35, if it ever gets there. Could take some time. We had the lower trend line, right? So he's in a downward wedge, and we had this double bottom, perfect bull setup, and then boom, to the upside once we had the break. That's why I'm always doing support resistance trend, because once we do this triple technical analysis method, if I wait for it, higher chance at profit and success. It's not guaranteed. It's not 100%. No strategy is 100% for trading or investing, or else somebody would be the god of trading and they'd be a trillionaire, right? Nobody's like that. So there's always risk involved, but TA helps us kind of simplify things, in my opinion, and make it a little bit easier. So, but we went double the target here. So 20%, we already hit that target. 40%, we hit the target. So I'm expecting, again, some kind of little mini pullback to happen. Actually, it already happened. If we look at candle, you can see it here. Somebody knows. Once we go, whatever swing trader was trying to play this, some guy sold it right here. Some. And now if they're trying to get this, the 1 minute, 5 minute bounce, right? So this is essentially a double top on like an hour or 4 hour, right? Look at right here on this side, somebody sold many candles in a row. So somebody had a sell wall on the level 2 up here in the circle. Okay, so just watch out for that. Just watch out for that. If it pulls back, we get a little could use a mini Fibonacci and try to get the target. So it could pull back to 21, 20, and $18. Just watch out for that. If it breaks out, because it is in still in an uptrend, up cross, it could just test 23. And if people still want it and buy it and then hit the bid to the moon, all right, sky's the limit. $30, $35, $40. Those are types of targets. Okay, let's do Bitcoin again. We have a request. It's always good to check on Bitcoin, right? I'll use Kraken because I'll just empty the chart here. Bitcoin. So I'll start off on daily, and this is extremely important. Charting Bitcoin is probably the most important crypto of all of them. If you can chart Bitcoin or total market cap well, if you could do this well, then it becomes a lot easier. Or not a lot, but it becomes easier. Same thing with stocks. If you could chart the SPY, S&P 500 ETF really well, then there's less problems, I shouldn't say that. It's easier understanding what's happening with the market. You can still have problems though. All right, BTC USD, here we go for Akron. All right, where are we right now? We downtrended. We downtrended. On Bitcoin from where? 65, 67,000 all the way down to 17,000. So just the fact that that happened, negative 70% off Bitcoin. It's like this. If Bitcoin was an NFT at the NFT store, and I could walk into the NFT store and I'm walking in, I say, wait a second. I'm walking and I look over and say, wait, what is that? Bitcoin? And there's a giant negative 70% off sticker on the front of the NFT. I'm like, whoa, you know, I actually might buy that. Litecoin's negative 90% off. I use this analogy all the time to help my mind. Maybe I'll buy some, right? That's what traders are doing right now. We hit a certain level, we hit a certain price, we hit a certain support level, which was basically 18,000. And then we were getting stuck here consolidating between 21,000. And then we broke out. We had the upside down head and shoulders, beautiful bullish reversal pattern, which was approximately 30%. Did we go all the way? Not all the way yet. My belief is that more people put their money into Ethereum type of stocks. I mean, cryptos, because Ethereum had the bullish move, had the news. right? But the same general psychology applied. So if somebody's trying to long Bitcoin, if somebody's trying to invest, this is what I always tell people is we never want to try to catch the falling knife. If it's just going straight down, I don't try to catch that. That's a Wall Street quote, right? How many falling knives can you find on the chart? There's one here in the pandemic, and the one just happened in the past year, right? What do I want to see? I want to see the reversal, because there's always one, right? You have a crazy crash, it goes sideways, and then what happens? It goes up. Crazy crash goes sideways, and then it goes up. Crazy crash goes sideways, and then what might happen here? Maybe it might go up. That's why people are buying some. So is this the bottom of Bitcoin? Are we staring at it? It might not be. It might not be. Because the general feeling of fear is we did have fear, but it wasn't extreme fear like the pandemic or 2018 crash. So that's why just based on that social sentiment is like, it might not be the bottom, but it could be a lower high bounce. It could be a bounce up to where 30,000 or 28,000. That could be the target we're looking at for like a couple weeks from now. But if you buy at this exact moment in time, it actually might come down on you, because if you're trying to play a swing trade, meaning like a short-term trade, right at the support level, it's uptrending. But what happens on these is it breaks down. It breaks down at right high, low, high, high, low, high, low, high, low. If this makes a lower high, that's a big problem. Short's going to try to attack it down a little bit. Probably trying to retest the 20,000 again. Retest. We just got stuck right here above the Fibonacci. 23,000, 22,000, 21, and 20. So those are the downside targets I'll be watching. If you're trying to trade Bitcoin in the short term, like a swing trader type of deal, right? If this doesn't bounce back up to 24, 25 in the next couple of weeks, Bitcoin's kind of in trouble in yellow light. Okay. Day trading, I'm not going to get into that because it's a little too choppy for the timing of my stream. The timing of doing it right now is not that great for day trading in terms of liquidity. So I'll just keep it a little longer term. So hopefully that makes sense for you, Akram. Depends on what style trader investor you are, if you're long or short. So hopefully that was enough info. All right, thank you so much for the follow, Deb. Thank you. Thank you. So I just want to point out here, I am streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch, and we have a Discord as well. And today's a free request day. So if you want to just request anything we can find, stocks, crypto, Forex, commodities, ETF, here on TradingView, just go ahead and type into the chat. I'll probably go about 15 or 20 more minutes. If we don't have requests, I'll just go down my usual list here. All right, one thing I didn't do today was total. So total market cap, this is a kind of like a proprietary index here on CryptoCap and on TradingView. This is the total crypto market capitalization in dollars of basically the whole crypto market cap, and it looks kind of crazy right now. But this is a very important chart because it's all the cryptos combined in dollars. So let me just clean it up for us. Before we jump to where we are right now, is the reason why you didn't hear me type about bull setups in crypto in the past like 1 year or 6 months or something is because of this giant head and shoulders with the neckline breakdown, which was the ultimate crypto shorting opportunity. 50% on the market cap profit for shorts. Okay, it's kind of like Ethereum though, but the target was supposed to be way larger. It should have went negative 80%, which was all the way down here. I can't even measure it. Negative 80%, somewhere around 330 billion, which basically means that the whole crypto market would have been wiped out basically. Could it still go down there? It's very possible. That's a very rough estimate just because the target is so low, 80 to 90% off. So if crypto for me ever gets this low in the price, I am definitely buying a lot of crypto. Why? Because we're never going to get that discount ever probably again for many years. Right? When's the last time that happened? 2000, right here, 2017 top to 2018 bottom. That was 1 year. It took 1 year to go negative 83%, and then it rallied 349% from the bottom. This is the ultimate investing strat, right? Kind of style is, did Bitcoin, it's like I'm combining like I don't know how many people, mentors, like 10 mentors into one plus my own experience. Is like, what does Warren Buffett teach people for stocks? He usually says, basically, we're trying to, I'm paraphrasing, but we kind of basically want to buy very good companies at a discount, basically, in a nutshell, right? Good, really good companies that, for whatever reason, is trading lower than it should be, and then there's profit potential built into that trade or investment or whatever we're trying to do. So same thing with Bitcoin is, or crypto is, did Bitcoin change in the 1 year period? Not really. But what changed? Human emotions changed. Human mind and the human heart changed. And then there's the civil war of Bitcoin Cash. That was kind of crazy. Like in terms of, wasn't expecting that to happen, but it happened. And then the crypto market crashed another negative 50%. So that's why I understand that where we are right now. And then COVID, once we hit the top, we had another, top, bottom, top, and then COVID happened kind of out of nowhere. And then that crashed the market. How much? Negative 60% down. And then we had our ultimate stock and cryptos rally. Then we hit a wall. We hit a large resistance here at, this is basically 70,000 Bitcoin or $3 trillion market cap, the highest market cap of crypto ever. And then you have the biggest bearish pattern comes out on the charts. That's why I knew no crypto for me for a little bit. So I stopped trading. And that was a great decision because there's no need. I mean, of course, there's little bounces and stuff that happen. But for me, because I bought 9,000 and sold at 64,000 Bitcoin investment, I don't need to lose that here, right? Because as a bull trader, I don't need to lose that there. Protection of principal or protection of profits is the key. So how far did we go down? We went negative 70% down. So that's kind of like a COVID crash. It just happened. It took a long time, much longer. It took 232 days. The COVID crash took 40 days. That's why the COVID crash felt so bad. It was brutal. You check the charts every day and it's just like 20% lower than it was yesterday. It was a brutal crash. If you were watching or in the market during that time, it's brutal. This one wasn't so bad because it was much more drawn out. But we did go negative 70%, basically almost the same as the coronavirus crash. So that's why this could be a relative trading bottom here at 766 billion. Okay. But at the back of my mind, I understand that, well, if nothing good happens with crypto sentiment or when nobody buys, the bearish target's actually down here, 453 billion. The super bear targets, if something goes really, really wrong, like if first world countries start banning crypto, which actually I might not buy it if that happens. But if something really bad happens, like every crypto exchange gets hacked or something, or like everybody's keys gets stolen, or just something crazy bad happens, then we could see the market crash down to these really, really extremely low levels. And then investors would love to buy that there. Traders are liking this. They're liking that in the blue circle. Looks like a little meme, but people like that. Traders like this, right? But the investors, they like it down here or as low as possible. So we'll just see how that goes. So to close out that analysis for investors, again, is we need to see it stop dropping. The entire crypto market, it needs to not go below 776 billion. So even if it comes down a little bit to like 900 billion or 800 billion, long term is kind of okay. But as soon as we lose the yellow circle, then we know red flag, red alert, something wrong is happening in the market. And if it stays down there, down here, we have a big problem. The good news is if it goes up, pulls back, and then does not go lower and actually goes up higher, then that's very, very, very good news for crypto. And then people would likely start buying. It's a ripple effect all around the world. People will tell other people. It'll spread all over social media, and then the piling, the FOMO begins. The to the moon plays begin, right? But when things are in a downtrend, all that kind of just fades away. So at some point, I have to put my line in the sand of where would I buy? Where do I want it to go down to that I'm going to buy? Traders already did it for this one. All right, so that was more of like knowledge, information, experience on the charts. Let me go down my list and let's just take a quick glance on all the cryptos. I like to do this, just a visual. So I'm on a daily chart. I'm just going to go down my USA list here. And if you have requests, go ahead and type in the chat. So Ethereum already had the bounce. Bitcoin, small bounce. Binance Coin, small bounce, but it's at a relative resistance top area. Solana, small bounce. Cardano didn't really have its bounce, right? Because Cardano, all these other 5 cryptos I just did, or 4, are more angling. That's not the right chart to show it, but it's more angling up right here, right? Cardano's angling down. So there's something different with the sentiment here on Cardano. XRP is basically consolidating, but it's at its resistance towards the top side. Okay, we'll do SPY. Thank you for joining. AVAX, we had a symmetrical triangle. AVAX hit our target perfectly, right on the dot. So again, sometimes T literally sold off right into the middle of my X from last stream. Is technical analysis works, but we have to wait for the setup, wait for it, it's patiently waiting for it. 30% though is a lot. We circle the moves. Are we going to get the breakout? Do we get the higher low? Can it go to this resistance? And it did, exactly. So most likely on day traders going to pull back a little bit on AVAX. DOT didn't really bounce up that much, kind of like a Cardano. Dogecoin bounced a little bit. Hello from South Africa, YouTube. Thank you for watching. If you have a request, go ahead and type it in the live chat before I end in like 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Dogecoin. Kind of at a relative resistance, right? If we back this up and if I show you the whole trend line, you see this on the top, is it bounced into it and it's kind of struggling right now. So it's kind of struggling, right? It's also kind of related to Elon Musk too. Dogecoin is not really, it's not hype coin anymore. Okay, let's jump back to SPY because that's a actual real request. And then we'll go back to the cryptos. So SPY, basically, this S&P 500 ETF is, we had this triangle set up, okay? And then we broke out on it on earnings. So this is kind of that start of earnings right here at the middle, early July, bank stocks. We made a support level, bounced up. We had that one bad or bad day of news, and then the continuation on earnings. So with stocks, I'm sure you're well aware of, is that we're in the middle of earnings season. Netflix, etc. Tesla, and then Twitter is going to report. Next week is tech week, so it's a big deal. We have Apple, Amazon, etc. Google, all the big ones, Meta, Facebook, the big ones. We also have the trend line breakout above on the top. So it's a technical and it's a fundamental earnings play. So where's the resistance? We're at it right now. If you look at S&P 500 futures, we're already starting to pull back, gap down. So it actually might gap down on the charts tomorrow unless we have like an overnight bull rally. But on the ETF, it's still frozen in the price right here. What I was saying earlier is on the 4 hour, it's starting to get into that resistance zone, losing a little bit of momentum. So we could pull back to 389 or 392 or the 385 or 381. If it's really deep, the first pullback target, the deep ones would be 389 or 380, like back inside the triangle. But if it's just going to be a little bit of a day trade pullback, probably just to one of these targets down here, 395, like a little baby pullback, mini pullback, 396 could be in play. But if I just stare at the price for analysis, is hard to see, but our support level for the pullback trend line is somewhere right around 395. So I'm going to call that as a support from now, right? Because we went up, down, up, basically, and then where's it going to go down? If it loses that support level, that's in big trouble. Because it already hit the top resistance. That's why people knew in the post market, let's just short down or sell it a little bit for risk. So that's the swing trading aspect. So for investment though, if somebody's like an investor, is we can take a snapshot of the COVID-19 crash, which we all lived through that. We all lived through that. And on an investment chart, what does that look like? Well, it was negative what? Negative 35% down from the top to bottom. Okay, about where did we go? It's only negative 23%. We barely tapped a bear market and then we reversed up as investors. This is all just earnings, basically, anticipation of earnings. The problem is on a weekly investment chart is there's that large trend line target up here, 421, which is basically our horizontal resistance as well. So that could be the ultimate earnings target after all this earnings is over. That could be the ultimate target. But did the market, is it uptrending yet? No, it's not. It's not. That's what I'm waiting for as an investor, because I want to see this. We need to see this again in the blue box. But then that cannot happen unless we crash first. Generally, in general. And that kind of TA concept, the price concept, that applies for every single time frame, right? Usually. For one strategy, it needs to crash first before it bounces back up. But if we rewind to history, some people might not have been old enough to live through this, or maybe they are. But in the 2007 to 2008 financial and mortgage crash, how low did that go from close to close? That was about negative 55%. That was way lower than even COVID. That was way worse. COVID was bad because it happened so fast, the crash. And then in the 2000s to 2002, the NASDAQ tech bubble crash. How low do we go on that? That was a unique event, but it was negative almost 50%. So the fact that we only went negative 25%, that's why you're hearing kind of like people on CNBC saying, wait a second, it might go lower. We might go way lower over time on the stocks and the crypto. There is that potential risk, like yellow risk, is if we bounce up and if we lose the support, like I said, 361, bears are going to attack that thing as hard as they can downtrending, as deep as they can go. Weekly Fibonacci, we just barely tapped the 382 level, basically. So the 50% is the next downside target, 347. Okay, so hopefully that answers your SPY, the SPY request. Great. I enjoy looking at SPY all the time because that is basically the USA stock market ETF. If we can master SPY technical analysis, we're going to be in great shape. Much more educated, much more informed than the average person who's trying to invest and trade on Earth. Okay, I think this is a good spot to wrap it up. We did stocks, ETFs, and cryptocurrencies, and then just some pretty in-depth knowledge about technical analysis and all those aspects. So I think I'm going to call it here for today. Thank you so much, everybody who watched and followed today. and everyone for giving requests. Really, really good stream today, and I hope to see you on the next stream. I usually stream on the weekends, usually on a Sunday night on my time. And again, I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch. If you want to give me a follow on any or all those platforms, I also have a Discord group as well. And donations are always appreciated here on TradingView, as well as donations elsewhere. So thank you so much, and really appreciate everybody joining in today. And hope you have a great week. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.